Okay, this is what we needed to go over, dialogue. You guys did this in Seesaw yesterday, but we need to go over what you got wrong and what you got right and talk about it a little bit more because you're going to have another assignment on dialogue today. Okay, so yes, I'm making each one a little bit bigger so we can see it on the board. I'm going to move these down. Okay. So for dialogue, you guys remember if it has, you need to first look at the part that's in quotations, okay? Remember, these are your quotation marks. Okay, so first we look at the quotation marks, and I see it says, where is your homework? So does everything look good inside the quotation marks?
Yes.
Yes, it does need to end in a question mark. It does have the punctuation goes before the quotation mark. Okay. Now let's look at the part that's outside of the quotations. Let's change our color. We'll do black. Okay, so this part we're going to look at next. Miss Kane asked. So before we get to this quotation mark, is this what it should look like? Well, let's look at the instructions. I gave you guys some examples to look at, okay? So if you look over here to the right, go to the second one. Sam asked, is school fun? Y'all see where the comma is? Right after the word asked. Does it come before the quotation marks or after? Before, when it's like this. So we need to make sure that it looks like that in the examples, okay? I see here's the comma, it comes before the quotation marks. So that is correct. So that's what I want you guys to look at. Both parts. Look at the part before the quotations and look at the part inside the quotation marks, okay? So this one needs to go in the correct side. Does that make sense? Okay, so let me move this over to correct. All right, let's look at this one. Miss Coleman, that's a typo, exclaimed, you got an A on your test. Okay, so let's look at the part inside the quotation marks. So from here to the end. Does anything look wrong with that? Allie?
It doesn't have a capital.
Good. Inside the quotations, it does need to have a capital at the beginning like it's a sentence by itself. Okay? So this is already wrong. But let's go ahead and look at the beginning part. See if there's any mistakes there. Mrs. Coleman exclaimed.
Nope.
Did they have the comma in the right place?
Yes.
Good. Yes, that's correct. So they just messed up on the capitalization. You have to have a capital letter there. Okay? So we're going to put this over where? Where does it go?
Incorrect.
Incorrect. Okay? Next one.
So pretty much what we're looking at is the inside.
You look at both, but I would start by looking inside the quotation marks and see if anything looks wrong there. Okay? It's time for recess, Miss Phillips explained. So we're going to start by looking at the quotation.
Punctuation.
Okay? If she's just talking normal, she's not questioning, she's not having an exclamation, we don't put a period because the period goes at the end. That's why you see a comma when it's just a plain sentence. Okay? So this is correct right here. Does everything else look correct inside the quotations?
Yes.
Yes, they have the capital at the beginning, they have the quotation marks around it.
It has another capital and
Okay, good. Yeah, it's separated.
Even the name.
If you're not sure, then you need to look back at these charts right here. That's why I posted them there for you. Okay? So when the quotation is at the front, look, school is fun, comma, quotation. Y'all see that? School is fun, comma, quotation mark, said Sam. Okay? So it's time for recess, comma, quotation mark. Miss Phillips explained. So is that where our period should go? Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. So this one goes where?
Correct.
Correct. Okay. Let's look at this one. Mrs. Coleman exclaimed, "You got an A on your test." This is the same sentence as earlier, but let's see if it's right this time. First, start by looking inside the quotation marks. You got an A on your test. Does that look correct? It has a quotation, it has a capital letter, it has an exclamation mark. Okay? Now right here, Mrs. Coleman exclaimed. Is the comma in the right place?
Yes.
Yes, it goes before those quotation marks, not inside of it. Inside would be here. This is inside. Okay. Okay, so does that all look correct?
Yes.
Yes, very good. Okay, next one. Bryson, stop. Miss Kane asked, "Where is your homework?" Is that another typo? Okay, starting inside the quotations. Does that look good? Yes. Capital letter, we've got the quotation marks, we've got a question mark, okay? Now we go to this part. Miss Kane asked, do we see something wrong?
Yes.
Elia? It needs a comma separating it from the quotation. So right here is where your comma goes. Okay? So this needs to go where? Incorrect. They left out that comma. Okay, last one. It's time for recess, Miss Smith or Miss Phillips explained. I don't know why that's down below. There we go. Hold on a second. We're going to look just at the quotation part first. It's time for recess. We have our quotation marks, we have a capital letter, and we have a comma here. Is that where the comma needs to go?
No.
No. Where does it go, Allie?
And it goes,
Before the quotation mark. Good. Okay. So right there is where it should be. This is wrong. It's time for recess, comma, quotation. Ms. Phillips explained, and then you put your period at the end. Okay? So all of the rest of them have the quotation mark or question mark. Sorry. All of them have their punctuation before you get to this second quotation mark. Does that make sense? Your punctuation needs to be before this quotation mark at the end of the quote. Okay? We don't use periods inside quotes. Okay? We replace the period with a comma. Does that make sense? No periods inside quotes. And when I say quote, I'm meaning this part inside the quotation. Okay? Alright, so what you're going to do now is you're going to get in Seesaw and practice the same thing, but this time you're going to come up with your own dialogue. So let's look at the activity you're doing. Oh, there it is. It says, I can add dialogue to make my characters talk back and forth. So let's look at this example. Scene 1. I can add dialogue to make my characters talk back and forth. It was early Sunday morning and the sun came up like a giant pancake in the sky. I woke up thinking, this day is going to be awesome. See the quotation marks? Okay. We quickly ate breakfast and started packing up for our big day. My daughter Aaliyah shouted, comma, quotation mark, I can't wait for today. I'll see the exclamation mark, quotation mark. I replied, me too, honey, it will be a fun day. She giggled, I can't wait to see the elephants. I responded, don't you like the monkeys? I thought that was weird. Okay, so you see how it's a conversation between two people? That's dialogue. Okay, Kelsey? Y'all think y'all can make up your own scene of two people talking to each other? Okay, you can write it on notebook paper and then take a picture of it. So that's what you need to do. Think about books that you've read between two characters. You can make up characters. You can use family members. You can use two friends. So you're going to write down a sentence on notebook paper with one character saying something that have the second character answer. Okay? It could be something that you would say here in class to somebody. Okay? Finally, have the first character respond back to the second character. Okay? So you can make up the characters. It could be people you know. It does not matter. Keep the conversation going, and I'm going to be looking at whether you have the quotation marks and punctuation done correctly. Okay? Look back at these posters too that I've posted on your journal for what you did yesterday, what we just went over. Okay? So you can click on that and click on these posters to help you. I can leave them up on the screen also. Okay?